Hey, welcome back to another episode for Life for Living Well. Before I dive into the topic that I have for this week, I'd like to quickly say if you'd like to know one or two things about this community, you can check it out on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. You'll find amazing, rich articles. You will find books that the members have read and suggested for the others that are interested in it. And if you like to reach out to me directly, you can also fill the form on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. So without taking much of your time, let's dive into the topic that I have for this week. The topic I have for this week is what I call embracing our flaw, lesson from the nature. As we normally do, if you are constant on this platform, we normally take one or two individual quotes and build our message around it. For this week and for this particular message, I'm taking from William J.H. and he put it this way: better to be a strong man with a weak point than to be a weak man without a strong point. A diamond with a flaw is more valuable than a brick without a flaw. William J. H. So have you ever wondered why many of us or many people run away from their flaw? Some people don't even know or identify their flaw. They projecting their shadow self to others. They say what wickedness, unfaithfulness someone done, and they cast the judgment so quick without take the opportunity to look deep into themselves, area where they are also being dishonest. So why this particular topic pop into my mind and why I make an effort to make a podcast or write an article about it is the opportunity to walk in the nature and see how natures live, coexist peacefully despite the obvious flaw in their making. We as a human being, we organize to extend, and sometimes we use our genuine creativity and intuitive design to design and organize nature the way we wanted to see it. But if you really want to see nature the way it was originally formed, you need to work in an environment where it has not been tailored by a human being. So working in nature teaches you that not all things are created equal, neither in structure nor in ability. And for me, one of the bizarre things that I've seen is how people blame others for their own flaws. You make me angry with you. You make me treat you badly. Perhaps anger is the issue. Perhaps impatience is the issue. Perhaps pride is the issue. So trying to equate what is fundamentally unequal. And it's like you are judging fish against the monkey who can climb the tree faster. An effort that doomed to fail. So it is one thing for a child to be afraid of the dark. That is understandable and forgivable. But it is harder to comprehend when an adult still fear their own darkness. Denying our flaw is a recipe for personal and emotional pain. I've seen few people in the rap age of 70, 80s and they still not able to identify their flaw. They didn't want to take ownership of it. Every time they behave nasty, they blame other people that they is the one that trigger it for them. So what happen when this thing happen more is when we deny our flaw. And what happened to us? This is a classic recipe for personal and emotional pain. Most of our emotional pain and psychological one is rooted in this. When we refuse to work on our shadows self. So both in the short and the long time, we experience traumatic pain. So some flaws are feasible to others. So those are more physical stuff. Maybe the way someone speak, the way someone struggle to do things that we perceive how it should be done. And so many other ways that someone's flaw can be feasible to others. What about the flaw that is within you that no one say except you? Some people even didn't like the height they have, even though it is the nature, it is their DNA. So they figure it out or try and overcompensating it by becoming a bit more aggressive to others. And some of this physical flaw can also generate instant feedback in a negative way. So that's the reason why society pressurizes people to create a mask. And this is what we need to be mindful that we don't fall into these traps. I got 4 more minutes to round up this video. What I wanted to share with you, if you are listening to me right now and you really have no work on your own flaw, really not understand your own weakness, is to know we all have flaws. Over time, we may develop strategies to cope or divert attention from them. Through overwork, maybe you use work to engage so that you try to compensate feelings of failure, feelings of not enough, feelings of loneliness. Or sometimes we use hobbies. It distracts us to a lot of things. COVID-19 was a blessing in the sky for me because I fall into the trap of hobbies. And one of my hobbies is travel. And I also, once I finish one, I'm always looking for another one to go. And every month, I must travel to somewhere outside the country. And I've been doing that for over 7 years. But COVID-19 granted me, and I begin to look at the things that I've never looked at for 7 years. It's not only forced me to confront my flaw, it also give me a peace to define what is more important for me. What exactly do I really want? And what exactly do I really need? It was a time that I can able to differentiate want and the need. And my life never be the same again for good. Some people use kindness. You want to control others, you have a strong need for control. You're becoming extremely kind to them so that you have a bit of control over them. Your control might be making them feel guilty if they don't do what you want. Some people is aggression, or some people Above all, chasing social status, the car they're driving, the kind of clothes they put on, the particular about it. I still want to tell you, you still carry flaw. But for those raising children, one of the most powerful lessons we can teach our children is to embrace their imperfections rather than hide them or blame others. And the funniest thing is that children notice more than we realize. They observe, question, and reflect. And we as an adult or parent, shutting them down when they ask honest questions doesn't help anyone heal, connect, or grow. Instead, what happens is showing vulnerability teaches them strength, not weakness. Personally, I've met people who, by age alone, you do expect to have accepted and walked through their flaws. But that's not always the case. Some carry unresolved anger, hidden behind masks they have worn for decades. The longer the mask stay on, the harder it becomes to remove. So the question I ask, how can we help someone like that? You might have them today as your friend, as your parent, as your boss, as your colleagues, as your wife or husband, as your boyfriend, as your girlfriend. Could it be you alone? The question is, how can we help someone like that? So when we grow to accept our flaws, we create space for connection and groundedness. The transformation is almost visible. The marks of denial begin to thin or vanish entirely. So the benefits are profound in the area of emotion, psychological, and mental well-being. I hope this message helps someone. I overshot this video by 2 minutes, and I hope that you find one or two things from this message. If you like what we are doing, please support us by subscribe to the video or podcast video log on the YouTube. If you like what we do and you want to receive our article weekly, you can also sign up on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Until we meet again, please stay safe and have a wonderful week. Ciao.